right, what's up? What's up, guys? Beautiful people. Appreciate you being here. It's a wonderful Friday. I hope everyone's doing really well. My name is Ray. I'm from Alluring Serpents, and you're not tuned into my favorite reptile podcast. For those of you that have been here, you already know. Appreciate you very much. Salute, salute, salute. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the shares. I appreciate all the stuff that you guys are doing for me. And, I just want to show abundant gratitude to let you know it's appreciated. If you're new here, this is a reptile podcast where we talk about good business practices to becoming a successful business owner in the reptile industry. We have a lot of different episodes, a lot of different people on here, a lot of different successful breeders. You're going to learn a lot of things that they use to be a successful business. So appreciate you being here. If you're new, at the end of the show, we do a giveaway. So stay tuned for that. We give away a t-shirt, which is this right here. And you guys could check out my model, which is Pat from Dragon Soul, rocking the first episode. Go give him a follow, man. Dragon Soul Reptiles on all social media platforms. So yeah, stick around for that. Let's see, what else we got? Okay, also we're going to be doing a giveaway from the Bauds. They're going to do a $100 credit, store credit for anything $200 and over. So stick around for that and the t-shirt giveaway. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this episode is sponsored by Joey freaking Puzzle at Meteoric Serpents. Definitely go check him out. He's doing big things. He's a young buck. You can check him out. Also, he's live every Saturday with Wiz Constrictors on Sophisticated Ignorance, which is Wiz Constrictors' YouTube channel. Starts at 10 p.m. Eastern every Saturday, so make sure you go check that out. I had some pictures of some animals that he has available, but, I'm not technically savvy, so I don't have those pictures for you. But if you're into Texas rat snakes, he has a couple of female scaleless, leucistic, 100% anery Texas rat snakes. So hit him up on Instagram DMs if you're interested in Texas rat snakes. He also has a ball python or a couple ball pythons for sale. Give him a shout. Let him know you're interested. He'll send you some pictures, and I'm sure he'll hook you up on good prices with those animals. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, also if you want to support the channel, I'm not monetized on YouTube right now, so we cannot do super chats, but what you can do is support the channel by donating to the Cash App right there. This episode is sponsored by Meteoric Serpents. To support the channel, you can use Cash App Family First 753. If you want me to shout you out, you can leave a note and I'll shout you out on the next show. So really appreciate everyone who's been supporting me that way. Thank you very much. And like always, I'm lagging, but hopefully it doesn't continue. Okay, so let's shout out some people in the chat. What's going on in the chat? Let's see. More Valley Reptiles. What's going on, Big Dog Ryan? Appreciate you being here, bro. Brian, Heathen Hatchery, what's going on? What up, Ray? Another banger of a guest. Yes, we love the Bauds around here, don't we? Appreciate that, man. Thank you for being here, bro. Eric's More Factory, what's popping, Eric? Appreciate you, bro. Hey, I need your shirt size, man. I printed out the vinyl for your t-shirt. I don't have a shirt size for you, so we got to do that. And I'll probably bring that to Daytona if I don't see you before then. Keisha Keish, sister, Keys Constrictors. Actually, go check us out after this show. So we always have happy hour right here on My Favorite Reptile Podcast. And then we have a nightcap where we go over to Keys Constrictors YouTube channel and we do this thing called Hair Down Friday where all the breeders get together and we show off snakes and we talk animals and we talk projects and we talk about, anything and everything that comes up. So really a good time. Definitely awesome people there. Always somebody new coming on every Friday, Hair Down Fridays. So make sure you tap into that after this. Starts at 8:15 p.m. Typically, this one ends around 7 o'clock. So gives you a little hour to maybe get some dinner or something like that. And then you can kick your feet up, relax, and let your hair down with us on Keys Constrictors YouTube channel. So super dope. Definitely want to check that out. Let's see who else we got. Alex M, what's going on, man? Appreciate you being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No Limit Pythons. Yo, yo. Appreciate you being here. There he is right there. Joey freaking Puzzle. Meteoric Serpents, episode sponsor. Appreciate you, big dog. I was going to show pictures of your animals, but I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it on here. I tried. And the couple of the hour, Baud's Exotic Reptiles. Thank you for being here. Actually, Jeremy is still on his way home from work, and he's going to be tapped in from his vehicle because that's the kind of guy he is. So appreciate you, Jeremy. And Jeannie's gonna hold it down while he's taking a shower because he probably smells like shit. Hyperspace. Chad, what's going on, bro? Appreciate you being here. Stone Age, Justin, what's going on, big dog? There she is, Mitzi Ann. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. You already know. There she is. Lady Tiz Exotics. What's going on, Lady Tiz Exotics? Nikki T in the house. Go check her out. She got Reptiles and Cocktails podcast tomorrow at 1 p.m. on Lady Tiz Exotics YouTube channel. I believe she has Lily on. If I'm pretty sure she has Lily on. If she doesn't have Lily on, correct me and my apologies, but I'm pretty sure it's Lily from Nagatani. I think I said that right. So that's going to be a good time. Definitely excited to see that. Creative Genetics. What's up, guys? I'm going to be listening, but cleaning rats. That's cool, man. That's cool. We're not showing off anything cool. All the cool showing off of stuff happens on Hair Down Friday, so hopefully you get done in time to go over there and see what we got going on. Sacred Serpents. Chantrell. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah, man. Hit that like button. Appreciate that. And if you're new here, sub the channel. Appreciate that too. And if you're not catching the live and you're catching the replay, leave some comments. Some comments are important. So leave some comments. Let me know if it was a great show, if it was a shitty show, what I can improve on, or what you loved most about it. Anything is helpful. So appreciate that. Blue Balls. Yo, what's going on? Eric Anthony, what's up, brother? Appreciate you being here. You already know. Oh, we got a big dog in the house. Jason, Ancestral Royal Pythons, peace and love to everyone. Big up to my brother Ray. I appreciate you very much, man. Thank you for being here. You already know, big dog. I gotta give you a shout, man. Catch up on a couple things. Let's see. North Star Exotic Pets. What's good? What's popping? What's popping? Thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, make sure you sub and hit that notification bell so you never miss a live. Keys Constrictors, T Keys. That's what I was talking about. Hair Down Friday, Keys Constrictors YouTube channel. Show us your snakes. We want to see all your snakes. Yeah, if you want to see our snakes, you're going to have to check us out on Hair Down Friday. Keys Constrictors YouTube channel, 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, Brian, right? Tripping. Hey, there he is right there. My model, my t-shirt model, Dragon Soul Reptiles, Big Dog Pat. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here, bro. You already know. Who else we got? I'm lagging. Cheryl Otto. Oh, that's for Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie from Cheryl Otto. Let's see. It's my Chappelle impression, Brian. The first Clayton Bigsby. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see. Anybody new? Anybody new? Morph Wizards, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Appreciate that very much. My boy Nico from Off Season Reptiles. Appreciate you being here, big dog. You already know what it is. Wendy, City, Morphs, Juan, big dog. What's going on? Thank you for being here, brother. So listen, last week during the show, we had. I'm lagging. I'm going to let it catch up for a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so last week we had some crazy spamming going on. So I didn't know how to make people moderators, but I definitely went in and made some people moderators. I'm actually doing that right now as we speak. So if you are a moderator and you see some crazy stuff going on in the chat, feel free to block these people, delete their comments, Definitely appreciate the help because this is a one-man show, and it's not easy to focus on all that madness and be um, a good host to the guest. So if you're in the chat and I made you a moderator and you see some funky stuff going on, definitely get rid of that for me, and I appreciate it. There we go. Chad, you want to be a moderator? I'll make you a moderator. We'll turn you blue. We call it smurfing people. We're smurfing people. Okay. I think that's everybody. All right, guys. So now, what you're here for, because it ain't me. We are going to bring out the Bauds right after this little intro video. So let me do that. You are now tuned in to my favorite reptile podcast with the infamous Jeremy Baud and the lovely Jeannie Baud.
Hey guys.
What's up, guys? How's it
What's up,
going?
fellas,
Appreciate
ladies?
you being here.
Hey, I appreciate you having us. How's
Yeah,
everybody in the
absolutely,
chat doing today?
They seem to be doing good, man. They're excited for you guys. So yeah, again, thank you guys for being here. Jeremy, I know you're just getting off of work, man. You're a hardworking man, one-man show, and that's why you're in your car.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I'm
how
actually
long-
driving and holding the phone, so it might get a little shaky and stuff, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, man.
But I
Just
should be home in the next 20 minutes, and then I'll pop on there on the same screen with Jeannie.
Yeah, for sure. Stay focused on the road, though, man. Safety
Yes,
first, right? You got your
please.
seatbelt on?
Yeah, but I also got an ejection button, so if something goes down, I can always bail out that way, you know?
All right, cool, man. All right, so tell us a little bit about you guys. Either one of you can talk about it. Your names, where you're from, maybe what different species you're working with, because you're definitely working with different types of species, and how you got into the reptiles.
Actually, I'm from here, so I was born and raised in Florida all my life, so it's just fitting to do reptiles in this state because it's the perfect state to have them, especially for our outside reptiles. Jeremy can explain where he was born.
Yeah, I was born in Okinawa, Japan.
He was.
Yeah, my real father was in the service, and my mother left him for reasons that somebody will have to ask me personally. Don't want to say it over the air or whatever. But yeah, grew up in like Philly and New Jersey. We were poor. We moved every year. There's always a new kid at school and all that. And 12 years old, we moved to Florida. And so basically I've been in Florida more than anywhere else. So I guess I'm a Floridian now, but that's where I'm from.
It's all right, man. We'll take it. We'll take you as one of our own.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do you guys? What's going on, Mike? So how do you guys link up, and then how did you guys decide like we're gonna start collecting animals?
Well, he used to have reptiles before, when our first daughter was real young. And then, life happened. We got rid of the reptiles, and our daughter, our youngest, when she was turning 15, she was bugging for a blue-tongued skink. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. Well, I ended up driving her to Miami, like 6 hours to Miami to get a blue-tongued skink for her birthday.
Nice.
And then Jeremy was like, well, let's go to the reptile stores. So we Googled all these reptile stores, and it kind of escalated from there really fast.
So when you got to the reptile store, what immediately caught your attention?
I don't know.
Well,
I think we were kind of in shock from seeing everything because it had been, I don't know, maybe 20 years since he had reptiles, you know, so it was completely different than anything.
Yeah, as far as ball pythons, I never knew of any other morph. I've seen like albinos or whatever, just pictures, but never knew anything other than, you know, the classic or the normal or whatever.
Right.
And then went to a reptile store and I seen a banana and I was blown away. I was like, man, this is cool. I don't want to cuss, but what do you got? 10 minutes before you're allowed to cuss?
I don't know. You could curse, man. I'm not monetized. Right. I mean, what's the worst that
happens?
Like,
man, that thing's cool shit, you know. So I ended up getting that, and then, you know, of course, you start looking at more, you know, YouTube stuff, and, you know, just checking different things out. Found out the way I kept ball pythons. It's what, 28 years now from this date, Jeannie, when I had that ball python. Yeah, because Kendall was
yeah,
it's about 27 years ago, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so back then we had like a fish tank with a metal lid that had these stupid clips on there that never worked. So you had to put like either some sand weights or books or something on top of them just to hold the.
Yep, I remember those days.
A heat rock with the artificial grass and inside, you know what I mean? So it's like everything is so different nowadays. And I know I've always liked reptiles, and you know, the kids were older, or the kids are older now, so we decided to get some more, and just like everybody else, 1 turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 300.
And so the first thing was, I didn't even like reptiles. Like, I wouldn't even touch any reptile when we first started this.
Yeah, and she liked mammals. We had rabbits, and gerbils, mammals, and
that was it. And now look at me, I breed all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, killing it. So how long ago was that you walked into the reptile store and saw like the banana?
That's probably 2016.
Yeah, about 7 years, 6, 7 years.
Okay, so 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah,
give or take. Yeah, somewhere around there.
So you saw the banana. You guys start doing research on ball pythons. Who were some of the people that you came across and you were like, yo, I really like this person's content, and you're learning a lot of stuff from them? Like,
well, like everybody, Barcheck. But I think Casey, our daughter, kind of introduced us to Barcheck because she was watching stuff too, because she had the blue tongue skink, you know. Yeah. So she kind of, you know, showed, you know, hooked me on the Barcheck, and then you start Googling on, or I don't know if it's Googling, but, you know, searching on YouTube ball pythons, and you start seeing a bunch of others. But Ralph Davis, there was a couple, you know, I think he was almost done with the YouTube when we were watching them, but I was watching a lot of the older ones. And then I worked on myself at work, so I was like podcasts and stuff. I was Googling ball python and reptile podcasts, and I was just listening to like stuff from 15 years ago, and that's how I come across Sean Bradley and Chris Eaton and some others, and I was just listening to a lot of that stuff, you know, during work too. So
yeah, did you become obsessed and it was just like all you did?
Yeah, and I'm still every day I'm listening to some kind of podcast or something, or YouTube or whatever.
Love that.
You know, nonstop since 2016. That's all we ever think and do is
I remember his mom was staying with us for a little bit, and I think all we had on the TV was just reptile thing after reptile show on YouTube, and I'm sure she was probably like, why are we only watching these reptile shows?
Because we're obsessed, Mom.
She learned to start liking them, though.
Oh, yeah, your mom likes them.
That's awesome. Yeah, my family, when I started getting into it, it was just reptiles. What are you watching, Dad? Reptiles.
Hey, Ray, does this make you nervous? Ray, real quick, does this make you nervous?
No, man, because it's you doing it, not me. If you don't know, I just went and saw Jeremy, and there's like nothing but bridges to get to where he is. And your boy is kind of scared of heights, not gonna lie, even though I'm really tall. So yeah, he's pulling some strings there for me. Appreciate you. So yeah, the family always saw me watching reptile videos, snake videos, and you know, some of them are like, don't you get sick of watching this shit? And I'm like, no fucking way, man. There's so many different combos and so much information. Like it never gets old for me.
No, I never get sick of it.
That's like guys, our Sunday morning routine is to sit down and have our coffee and to watch Camp Cannon. his episode that comes out on Sundays.
I don't know who that is. Is that a YouTuber?
Oh yeah, Camp Kennan. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Florida. He does a lot of tortoises and stuff, a lot of lizards,
Alligators.
and I like his because, yeah, he I don't know, how would you? It's a lot of educational stuff. Like you learn a lot about tortoises, and he's not like into like snakes at all, really. I think he might have.
He's got a lot of lizards and stuff.
Yeah,
well, listen, that's appropriate for you guys because you're doing snakes.
Yeah.
What different species are you guys actually working with?
Jeannie, I'll let you answer. It's getting choppy here because I'm on the bridge. I mean, breaking in and out. So.
Well, obviously, ball pythons. That's our biggest species that we work with. We have a few Central American boas. We have rhino iguanas. We have Chinese box turtles, pied pectinatas. We have redfoot tortoises, crested geckos, Aki monitors. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I think that's it.
Did you say the crest? You said cresties, right?
Yeah, I have crested geckos. That's probably my biggest thing that I work with, or the most species, because I've got quite a bit of that.
Yeah, your freaking cresty room is dope, super dope.
Thanks.
I love it. So,
Uromastics, did you say?
Oh no, and the Uromastics. That's what I forgot. I knew there was one that I forgot. Those are my babies.
Those are the blue and green and yellow ones? Oh, those are so beautiful. I might need a baby at some point from you guys, so I'll be looking
hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be looking up for when you hatch them out.
April, May next year, I think. Hopefully, we'll have some.
Very cool. Well, hopefully, I'll have more space so I could actually have them. I'm in tight quarters right now, so just ball pythons for me. So, what were some combos that you kind of fell in love with as you guys were researching animals? And like, did you just start picking up random stuff, or were you selective about what you were picking up, or how's that look?
Well, in the beginning, we're just trying to get, like a lot of other people did, probably in the era that I got in, is just trying to get as many as you can. You're watching Brian Barczyk, and you're seeing just this rows and rows of racks, and everybody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be big like him," So, wasn't really focused. I just didn't have someone, yelling in my ear on, how to do things and stuff business wise or whatever.
Right.
In the beginning, I was just trying to get as many as I can, and I bought a few collections in the beginning. Actually, our very first year, when I did buy that banana, I would say probably within 6 months, I bought a couple collections, and we were already breeding snakes because we bought some that were proven breeders and stuff. We actually vended our very first show in our very first year of getting that snake. I don't regret how I did things, but I definitely, if I had to do it over, I would definitely do it different. But I did gain a lot of experience doing all that, in the first year, getting adults and all that stuff. Learned a lot of things, figured out a lot of the mistakes I've made and stuff like that. And definitely evolved from that, so.
Yeah. But Jeannie, did you look at Jeremy at any point and be like, "Hey, man, you're going kind of hard"?
No, she was. She's right there with me. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I do. But she's right there. She's like, "Oh yeah, we'll get these," and she'll see stuff, and that's a good deal. That's a real pretty one. That'll go with this and this and that. So.
Well.
Go ahead, G. Let's get your account.
At first, I'm at work. And
now you're lying, Jeannie.
No. Let me talk. He texts me, and I'm at work, and I read the text, and it says something to the effect of, "I think I want to start breeding ball pythons now, and I found this collection to buy." And I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? Because remind you, I wasn't into reptiles at this point, but I was like, okay, I guess if this is what you want to do, then go for it.
Yeah,
but that's one thing, we've always supported one another in whatever endeavors that we wanted to try.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's nice to hear that, because you got some people out here that are dealing with spouses that are just like, keep that shit away from me. Stop buying them. You're spending too much. So supportive spouse is super important and really awesome to have.
Yeah.
How
Well,
many?
I kind of
Go ahead.
figured like, if it's what he wanted to do, and then eventually I ended up really loving the reptiles. And for me, it was just a fear factor thing. And once I got over that, now it's like, it's kind of bad that we're both into it, kind of, because we have nobody to say, no, don't buy that.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are.
She is still afraid of snake poop, though.
No, I'm not afraid of snake poop. I just clean enough lizard poop.
That's funny. So how many snakes were in the original collection that you purchased? Like how
The
many did
very,
you have? And then
the
how many did you?
very. All right, so I'll answer all that. Because we bought a few collections
Yeah.
actually. The very first one, there was 10 snakes. I know there was a male pied, and there's like some single gene females and stuff in there. Um, and in every collection that I bought, I always made my money back most of the time before I even got to the house with the collection. Because like for an example, the 10 snakes I bought, I believe it was $1,000, plus it came with a thermostat, and it was like a homemade makeshift rack. Oh no, was it? I can't remember what kind of rack that was, but it came with a rack and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept the rack in the beginning, and I sold off a few snakes. Basically, sold enough snakes to make all my money back, and then keep a couple females that I wanted, and one or two of the males. And then fed them, and then there was another one that came across. I think the second one was like, I can't remember exactly, but I know there was one that was like 14 snakes. The next one, I know the biggest collection I bought was 27 snakes, but every single one of those, I'm looking at what I have, making phone calls to see what stuff I can, move
Mm-hmm.
or sell right away. And probably worst case, it took me a week to make all. I mean, I wasn't trying to flip. I was trying to buy stuff to keep stuff, and then some of the stuff that I didn't want, I was, reselling again
Yeah, that
to,
makes good sense.
to take
So
the
how many
cost.
how many snakes did you have before you bought the first collection?
Um,
3.
4 or 5.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was 3.
It was the banana. It was the super
The Super
mystic.
Mystic, and then we had what did we buy? We had another one, Khaleesi.
Okay, so
Oh yeah. Okay.
just a few
Yeah, we
snakes,
named our
and then you
first 3
started getting
snakes.
into. So you said you were getting the collections, and then like within a week, you'd basically like get rid of the ones that you didn't want to keep for yourself. What outlets did you use to move those snakes?
Friends, Craigslist. I
I don't
usually
think we
just.
posted animals on Craigslist. No.
It might not even. Yeah, it might have been just like
No.
friends, and maybe I don't even know, man. How did I sell a lot of those? I think a lot of them are from friends.
I think
Just,
so. From
because
people that we knew.
yeah, Mike Smith. He owns. He used to have a reptile shop down here. About a half hour where we live. He since moved and shut down the shop. He's still breeding and all that. But we met some friends. Just because we would go in there and hang out. It would be like a hangout for a lot of the local people. Like I think it was every Friday we'd go there and just hang out for like an hour, and a bunch of other reptile people would
Oh, cool, man! It's
just
like an
hang out.
in-person hair down Friday.
Kind of, yeah, but yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And then yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe someone Facebook Genie. It had to have been.
Probably.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I met
so a little bit of
We had a MorphMarket too. Remember, we had when we had the free one before.
Yeah, we started off with at the time it was like you can do 3 listings on MorphMarket for free.
Yeah.
We moved some stuff that way or whatever, but
it wasn't like it was a ton. So at that point,
yeah, you weren't pushing dozens and dozens of animals.
no,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, and like I said, we were doing shows too. I bought some used displays, and went to some business card and sign shop and had probably one of the worst type of signs you can make. I didn't know any better. The type of the signage that you would use for a show.
Well, it's not that it was bad. It wasn't bad. It was just the beginning. It was just a start.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, we definitely evolved since then.
Yes. Well, you live and you learn and you upgrade.
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
you don't know what you don't know until you know, right?
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. Exactly. I love that you said that. And you learn as you go, right? And confidence is built by you doing things, not by being prepared to do things.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, it's funny because I have friends that I've like went to school with and stuff that I still message and talk to them. Not super close. It's like most of my friends now are reptile people.
Yeah,
some of my best friends.
Really best friends. Yeah.
Like Steve Casino, I talk to him like every single day.
It's actually really awesome how that happens because I know a lot of people. I'm a tattoo artist. I've done tattoos for years now, and typically what you have in common is hanging out and getting wasted, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And that's not really something to build on. This is something where you help each other grow, and it's beneficial for both families, you and your friend, right? So.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing building relationships in the industry and having everybody on the same page, and I love that. So Holly has a question for you guys. Which one of you has spent the most money? Wait, which of you spent the most on a single snake?
Let me answer this, Jeremy, because I don't feel like it's either one of us because we kind of talk about it first. I mean, obviously he comes up and says, hey, look at this snake. This would work in this project. And then we talk about it and we do it together, I would say. Wouldn't you say, Jeremy?
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry, I can't read the comment. Driving and holding.
It was just
which one of us? Because we've been together 29 years. We don't separate our money. Our money is together. So, to answer that is, it's not like one of us. It's like we're a partnership together. So, I mean, that's to answer that part of the question. The most expensive that we spent on a snake, I would say, was probably $8,000 on one snake. The very first most expensive snake that we got, like when we first started, this is in the first year, it was $600, and I was nervous as hell because we're sending $600 over to somebody, and then they're going to ship us a snake in the mail. And that's and that was
off of MorphMarket. We were so scared.
Now it's nothing, it's not. Now you look at a snake, oh, that one's only $3,000. All right, let's do it or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well, there's a return in it. You're getting a return from it.
Yeah, you got to understand that you're going to make money on. I've never bought a snake unless I didn't breed it or something where I didn't make at least what I paid for it. It's actually a lot more than that.
Right. So that's business minded, right? So you guys said you started doing shows your first year, so you obviously created the business that first year, right?
Yes.
Not the LLC. I mean, but we were doing it, but we didn't have like an LLC or anything our very first year.
We've been an LLC for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. So how did you guys get into I guess maybe it was different then, but
no, class 3 is what you need to get into the shows. Is that
you
what
don't
you're
have
asking?
to be an LLC to do shows.
Yeah,
you just need
we
the
had our
class
class 3 probably the first
year.
First started.
Yeah, when we first started, we got the class 3.
Okay, cool. I did not know that. I thought you needed to be a LLC to get the class 3.
Nope.
No, you only need an LLC if you're down with me.
No, you only you need a class 3 in order to vend shows or to make sales or whatever.
Yeah, right. To display your animals and all that. LLC is when it becomes a business and you're doing taxes and all that kind of stuff, So,
right.
So
as a hobbyist and you're trying to sell stuff, all you need is class 3.
Right, and you got to go through Fish and Wildlife to get that class 3.
Yeah.
Technically, you cannot take your snake to a store or anywhere, even if you just have one snake and it's just a pet, because you're displaying that animal and you're supposed to have a class 3 license for that.
Gotcha. So when did you guys decide we're gonna call it Baud's Exotic Reptiles? Like, when did you?
Oh, that was a hard decision to make what the name was actually going to be.
Let's hear. Did you have some that you were like, "What the hell is that?" No.
Well, he
I
was
actually
doing
went.
Baud's balls, and I was like, "No, we're not."
I wasn't doing Baud's balls.
Well, that was like one of the things that was
ball
in
pythons. Yeah. Then actually, Sean Bradley was talking on one of his older episodes. His business was exotic by nature, and then he was saying that, you know, having that name, you can actually sell birds because they're exotic animals. You can actually have a pole stripper club because exotic by, you know what I mean? So it's like a universal type name. So that's why we went with exotic reptiles instead of ball pythons. And it works out great because, you know, you were at our house, you've seen all the different species. You didn't even get to see everything. You didn't even get to see the boas.
I didn't see the boas.
Yeah, we did miss those.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm at the house, so I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna set the phone down, and then I'm gonna jump in and take a shower real quick, and then I'll meet you out there.
Yeah, I can smell you from here, bro. Go do that.
Yeah, I smell myself.
It's sweaty and nasty, I'm sure.
All right, cool. So Jeremy, I'm gonna throw you. I'm gonna get you out of here, and it'll be me and Jeannie for a little bit.
All right, brother.
All right, big dog. Appreciate you.
See you soon.
All right, hold on 1 second, G.
Sure.
Remove from the studio. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yo, I wish I had more time. I showed up to you guys late, and I actually drove over the bridge, so I saved myself.
Did you?
I did. I had my girl on the phone with me, and I was like, "Listen, I need you to talk to me while I drive over this big bridge."
Well, I'll tell you, I'm afraid of heights too, so I can understand your fear.
Yeah, and it's so funny because people are like, "Ray, you're tall. Like, how does that even work?" And I'm like, "My feet are still touching the ground, you know."
Hey, but you never know. That's what I always say.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I've seen crazy stuff, and it's like imprinted in my brain. So I freaked myself out a little bit. It's my own fault. So, so you guys came up with Baud Exotic Reptiles.
Yep. Because just in case we had expanded and we wanted to expand into other reptiles, at the time there was no like direction that we were going to get into other reptiles, and obviously we did.
Yeah, I actually thought about it. So mine is Alluring Serpents, right? So it just means beautiful, beautiful snakes. Now, what if I want to get into white throat monitors or tortoises or something like that in the future? I got to evaluate, right?
Right.
So super cool that you did exotic reptiles because now that's broad spectrum. You could mess with anything and everything, like Jeremy was saying, right?
Right. And it covers everything. So
yeah, that first year, were you going to shows with Jeremy?
Mm-hmm. We've done every single show together. That's awesome. Do it. I mean, like you said, we've been together for 29 years. We're best friends. We do everything together.
And that's how it should be. That's beautiful. I love hearing that. So let's see. Did you guys have like business ownership experience prior to the reptiles, or did you get any?
Yeah, he owns a cabinet business. He just does installations now. He just installs kitchens. He used to fabricate kitchens and make them and everything. Actually, where the snake house was a garage, a 3-car garage for his cabinet business. And then we ended up turning it into a house for our daughter. And then when she left, we have this for the whole reptile business. So
yeah, and it's definitely dope.
Yeah, I mean, we were lucky to have it, so that's all I can say.
Okay, so did you guys?
Species were able, since we do have this, we're able to keep all species separated from one another. Nobody shares rooms together.
Yeah, I love that. You got the snakes there. You got the what are those iguanas called?
The Uromastyx.
The ones with the big thing on the top of the head.
Oh, rhino iguanas.
Yeah, it's the rhino iguanas. Everything you got. I love how you have your setup. Like everything has its own space, and it's enough space for that species. The tortoises together. That was an awesome enclosure that you guys built. I think you guys did a great job with that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So did you guys have anybody helping you get the business end of it started, or you just?
I mean, not really. We had some mentors that we've talked to, you know, Mike from MorphMarket. Jeremy taught Jeremy a lot of stuff about ball pythons. Steve's Morphs, you know, we're great friends with them. There's quite a few people that we've, you know, talked to help us, you know,
Yeah,
but
you
we
have some.
pretty much like, you know, just moved forward pretty quickly.
Yeah. Is there anything that you could maybe share with someone new that maybe they shouldn't do as far as the beginning of their adventure? Maybe what not to do?
I would say as far as it worked in our favor, luckily, but don't go in and just buy whatever at first. Really sit
Right.
down and know a plan with what you want to work with, you know?
Right. So be project driven.
Yeah, that's what I would say, you know? Don't be afraid to spend some money at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people are nervous. Like Jeremy said before, you know, buying a $600 snake was a big deal.
Yeah. It was because we didn't know. We had no idea. We thought $600 for a snake? That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know?
Now we're dropping like $2, $3, $5, $10,000, and it's like, oh yeah, here, take it.
Yeah, that's we joke about that quite a bit.
Yeah, that's funny. Were you nervous for your first like big purchase? Like where you spent like over $1,000 or something like that?
I don't think so.
No?
No,
You're
I
pretty
don't
comfortable
think so. Yeah.
comfortable in the motions?
By that time, yeah, I feel like it because we had probably been in it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of, you know, started to know like MorphMarket, and you start to hear the names and make sure people are reputable. You know, you want to make sure you're buying from reputable businesses.
Right, yeah, it makes it definitely gives you peace of mind when you're sending money over to somebody.
For sure.
So you guys started off with the ball pythons. When did you start getting into like what species are you like? I know you're focused on the cresties, right?
Right.
But when did you guys decide, hey, we're going to start getting into other species?
Well, actually, the cresties were the last species that I got into. So, and you've seen how big that room was, and that was just a couple years ago. Our first, our next species, I want to say, was the rhino iguanas that we got into, and that was a funny story because we were Matt Ring.
Yeah.
We were going to Iguana Fest where Ty Park is. And we were driving there, and I looked at Jeremy and I said, we are not coming home with any iguanas today. And he's like, no, I'm not interested. And we go there for the whole day. We're having a great time. And there's this enclosure that they had set up, and Donkey Kong is in there. Well, that's Ty Park's oldest rhino iguana. And he's massive. He's like triple the size of ours, Ray. And you've seen how big. Yeah, he's big. So Jeremy goes in there and he's holding them, and I could just see how much like he loved that animal. And then he started looking at the babies that they had for sale and stuff. And I was like, I told you we are so bad, because I was like, just get one. Just get one. Yeah. And we came home with our first one. And then, of course, the year later, we go back to buy a male and another female.
So you guys have 3 now, and you're making babies.
Oh, yes.
So you're officially rhino iguana. So you're officially rhino iguana breeders.
Yes, and, we are.
You do have some available, right?
Yeah, we have 8 of them. And we actually, I think our next project was probably the Redfoots and the Pied Pectinatas, which we actually have the Pied Pectinatas. They're hatching out now. So we have 3 of them that have hatched already. So
that's super dope. Well, congrats on your first, what do they call it, clutches?
Yeah, they're clutches. It's our 2nd year hatching them.
Oh, okay.
So gotcha. Yeah, but they are so cute. It's hard to sell them because they are cute.
Oh yeah, that emotional attachment to the animals definitely makes it difficult to sell them off.
It does. So, even Jeremy's usually not one that gets attached, but when he saw the Pied Pectinatas, he's like, yeah, these are kind of hard to sell.
So where can people find so you guys have a MorphMarket, obviously. Do you
Yeah.
have all the different species on MorphMarket?
No, we don't. Not at all times. It just depends. We have the rhino iguanas on there. I don't post a lot of the crested geckos on there for sale, especially right now because it's too hot to ship.
Okay.
So because they are more sensitive to temperatures, so I have to be careful of when I ship those. We'll put the pectinatas on there once they're ready. They've got to be out for a few weeks before we can sell them.
Okay. Do you guys have a website where you have your things listed?
We don't have a website. We use Instagram.
Okay.
And Jeremy's on Facebook. He posts a lot under his personal. He
Here's a
needs to
question
turn
for
it
you.
into a business one.
What's the care like for a rhino iguana?
They're actually not too bad. It's a matter of space for them because when they are big, you probably need at least 8 foot by 4 foot and a little bit of height. So it's more of a space thing, and they're much easier if you can keep them outside because when they do poop, it is like dog size poop. I'm not joking.
Jeremy gives you shit for the ball python crap, right? But you're out there cleaning turtle shit, lizard shit, crusty shit.
Yeah, like I mean, come on. So, and they eat greens, squashes, and fruits. So they're pretty easy to take care of as far as that.
So like a regular like a green iguana.
Yeah.
Nothing too specific or drastic difference.
No. For them, it's just the space because they are a bigger lizard. So it's hard sometimes for people to have that amount of space to take care of them.
So who wanted to get into the tortoises?
I don't know, probably both of us, but I think he brought it up because he's always loved tortoises.
Yeah.
So he does like them.
That's cool. And the Cresties, that was you?
That was all me. He's afraid to hold the babies and stuff because he's like, oh my gosh, it's so tiny. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that thing is like the size of my pinky nail. I was like, oh my God, look how tiny that thing is. Like I'm so big. Like Joey D came over with his newborn rat snakes, right? He brought a rat snake over, Texas rat. And this thing was just like an angel hair pasta.
Oh gosh.
After being boiled. It was just like this tiny little thing. And I was like, dude, I feel so scared. Because not scared of the animal, but scared of what I might do. Like I didn't want to drop it and it's so tiny.
I know.
Yeah. So when you got into the Cresties, like what does that look like? Did you start researching first? Did you reach out to people to find out more information? Like
Well, our daughter had a couple of them and she was starting to kind of breed them a little bit, just like 1 or 2 pairs. It wasn't anything like crazy. And so we were kind of already into it. And then, of course, she was in high school and then she got out of it. So I ended up taking the crested geckos. And then I just found some charcoals and stuff like that I really liked. When I do the crested geckos, I kind of pick what I like, which is usually not cheap, unfortunately.
Yeah, you got good taste.
But and I do have to be very selective because that room that you saw isn't really huge. It's a decent size, but you can only fit so much in there.
Yeah, and they need those tanks that you have, right? What are they called? The Exoterra.
I use the Exoterras, yeah.
Yeah.
There. Of course he was gonna post something like
that. I know we could curse on here. I'm not sure. You're probably gonna have to put some clothes on for me, big dog. So I'm not too familiar with Cresties. What type of, like, I know they have different genetics and stuff like that. What are some genetics that you're working on, and what maybe do you have available so that people know?
Yeah, I work a lot with Harlequins and extreme Harlequins. That's a pattern on it. I work with charcoals. Certain ones can almost turn a black when they're fired up because crested geckos fire up and down throughout the day. Usually when they're like at rest, they're fired down, and then they'll fire up when they're up at night or they're eating or chasing crickets.
Wait, so you're saying fired up? What does that
Yeah.
mean?
They change colors. Like, for example, my charcoals, they'll be like a light gray when they're fired down, but my male, when he's fired up, is almost black.
Oh shit, I didn't know they changed colors like that.
Yeah. So cool. They do change colors. I have one that's a light pink when it's fired down, and when it's fired up, it's like this amazing red color.
Dude, so it's almost like they're a chameleon in a sense, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so I work with the pinks, the charcoals, extreme Harlequins. I have a cold fusion from Tom. What else do I have in there? I'm working with some yellows that I haven't sold or bred yet. I'm still waiting. Hopefully this coming season. I have some confettis and some super dows.
Nice. What do you have available right now that people can reach out to you for?
I have some Harlequins available. I have, I think, one charcoal left. I really don't have much left from the season. I just started hatching, and they take a little while before you sell them because you saw how small they are.
Yeah, how long do you wait?
It depends. If I feel like I'm not going to keep it, I wait till it's 5 grams. And they usually hatch out between 2 and 3 grams. So it takes a few months for them to reach that. But if I'm going to keep it, I might hold it until it's like 10 grams to see how it progresses. Because when they first hatch, you don't know how it's going to actually look as an adult. You can have some kind of idea, but you like to watch the progress of it as it grows.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, I remember Will from Flawless Exotic was saying how they started selling things, and then the people that bought them would hit them up later on and like, oh, look at this. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that? And they're like, oh, I got it from you. And they were like, what the hell? You know?
Yeah, it's pretty cool when you get to watch that. You know, it's sort of like the pied pectinatas that we have. They hatch out like a bright green color, but as adults, they're black and white.
Oh.
So, yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, it's so when they're babies, they can hide in the foliage in order to, escape predators. So
yeah, that makes good sense. So is it like, okay, ball pythons, we pop them to check for gender, right? When it comes to the cresties, how do you know?
You don't. There's no definitive answer for a while. Sometimes you don't even know until a crested gecko, what we call cresticles.
Cresticles?
Yeah, when you can actually, you will know that it's a boy, when it drops.
Oh, okay, got it.
Well, I mean, sometimes like if they're a light colored crested gecko, it's easier to see the pores. You can flip them over, and you actually got to use a magnifying glass to look to see the pores. Yeah, sometimes it can be hard. So, usually anything under 15 grams, people don't guarantee the sex.
Okay. So do you find that so when you're going to purchase a new cresty, obviously you want to know if it's a male or a female. So are you waiting until it's more mature?
I have a hard time waiting. If I see something that I like and that I absolutely gotta have, what I try to think about first is what project would I put this in? And if it turns male or female, can I still work it in my project?
Oh, okay. So you kind of got to play the, if it's either or, I can still work with it. And if not, then it's not worth it. Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's interesting. So, damn, I'm just trying to wrap my head around that because it's like.
Oh, Boza, crested geckos are the easiest to take care of.
You guys are going to be at Daytona, right?
Yeah, we're also going to be in Orlando at the end of the month.
Oh, very cool. So if you're going to Orlando Reptile Show, if you're going to Daytona Reptile Show in August, make sure you stop by the Baud's table and check out some of Jeannie's cresties.
Yeah, like I said, I almost sold out. I think I've only got like 7 or 8 left.
All right, so your spin to win that you're doing, we said we do $100 on anything that's $200 or more, or I can't speak for the geckos, but the ball pythons, they have the option of 30%. So they see something that's like $1,000 or whatever. That's so it's either $100 off of anything, $200 or more, or 30% off.
Okay, did you think that up in the shower?
What's that?
Did you think that up in the shower?
Yeah, I did.
You know what he's been doing.
I had the phone inside the shower, and I was hoping that the camera wasn't still going.
No, it wasn't. I kicked
It's still live, so I guess we're good.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't keep you in the backstage.
I feel like I don't even need to be on here. I think Jeannie's been doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, Jeannie's fucking killing it, man. Super knowledgeable. She's much prettier to look at and much nicer to listen to.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Soothing on the ears, man. All right, so let's see. You guys start taking it more serious. What were some ball python projects that you guys? Hey, Bosa Balls. Oh, is that Junior or is that just Bosa Balls?
This is Jeannie's shirt. I couldn't find mine.
Oh my goodness.
So what were some when you guys wanted to take it more serious and you understood things, your knowledge base was more broad and you wanted to take it more serious, what were some projects that really sparked your interest?
Puzzle was your big first
project. I hooked up with Sean Bradley early on. I know you guys were talking about the iguanas, but he's the reason why we went to Iguana Fest. I don't know did you say anything about that?
Yes, I said how I said that we weren't coming back with anything, and
well, I know but I didn't know if you mentioned that. Because I bought some puzzle stuff from Sean, and then he just happened to ask me because he knows we're in Florida. He goes, "Hey, are you going to Ty Park's place? He has an Iguana Fest." And he said he's going. I'm like, yeah, we'll hook up there and meet up there, So, where was I getting with that anyway?
We were talking about like when you were more focused on taking it serious and what projects you decided that
the projects, yeah. So that's the puzzle was like my very first project. And that was probably year two or three, I think, when we started realizing we need to like get a little more focused. Even though we weren't 100% focused, I knew I wanted to start.
I think by year three, we were really focused.
Yeah, and it's like every year we just elevate each year, and now it's like that's everything. Like 2-3 years ago, I didn't have plans for 5-6 years in the future. Now I do. You know what I mean? Yes. So I'm thinking way ahead. I'm making stuff now that 5 years from now will be super bangers. Yeah,
we're gonna get into that too, man. You got fucking some crazy stuff going on over there. Exciting stuff.
Yeah,
I will have to give that to him because as far as the genetics go in the ball pythons, I know about them. Yeah. But I will say that he's done a great job as far as pairing and picking the pairs to put together. He really has focused on that a lot.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned some about, I was listening to about mentorship and all that stuff. It's always good to have at least 2 mentors. I would say more, because everybody's going to do things a little different, and you can kind of put everything in a hat and do your own way of doing things. I've learned and educated myself a lot through a bunch of podcasts and stuff that I've listened to. I mean, every single day I work in a house by myself. It's new construction. My radio, I have a DeWalt radio that's also a battery charger, but the radio part doesn't work. One of these days I just got to go buy another one. But my YouTube and all that stuff does. I can link it to my phone. So I'm always listening to, YouTubers and old podcasts, new podcasts, all that stuff. And you learn a lot. If you're listening to 15 different reptile podcasts and stuff, you're going to learn stuff, and I'm constantly learning stuff every single day, and it helps me guide my way and, helps me, get more focused and seeing what's hot, what's coming up and stuff like that, just by hearing all these different people. And
that's what we're trying to do here is just give people the opportunity to learn things that they don't know, right?
Yeah, right. What you don't know until you know.
And the thing about mentors, for anybody listening out there, is a mentor is not somebody who is doing exactly what you're doing. It's somebody that's already been there doing that could teach you what they've done. So your buddy that you're, just kicking the shit with, that's not a mentor. A mentor is somebody that can educate you as well as be your friend, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. So yeah, Jeremy, will you be my mentor?
I'll be anybody's mentor. I like talking snakes, and I'm always willing to help anybody. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys are fucking awesome, man. So how many snakes are you guys up to?
Well, with hatchlings,
maybe
my whole back rack is pretty much full, and it's a 1075 because there's 2 extra levels. Actually, one level is empty.
Let's just estimate.
I'd say about 300.
Yeah.
Ish.
About 300. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to guess myself. I was like, damn, how many snakes did I actually see in there? I was like, maybe like 250.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I'd say probably with the hatchlings I have for sale, there's probably around 300-ish. Yeah.
Nice. Are you working any like dinker projects?
2 of them.
Are you trying to prove out any genetics in any snakes?
Well, the cocoa, it's not really that's not really my project. That has got, a friend of mine hooked me up, and we're kind of working together. He's actually putting it, because you've seen the cocoa in person, and it kind of compares to a chocolate a little bit. Mm-hmm. So he put it to a chocolate this year. We know there's a super cocoa, and hopefully he gets just find out if they're allelic or whatever.
See what's going on with it.
So I think he said he got 7 or 8 eggs from that. So a cocoa to a chocolate.
Nice. When
another one, on that? I think, did I show you that banana?
Wait, he asked the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's the cut date on that for us to find out?
I don't know. It's been a little bit.
I'd have to ask him.
I think it's been a little bit.
I would say it's at least probably
a month.
Within a month before they're ready, or sooner. Yeah.
Okay. And then you were about to bring up that banana that looks like it's Monarch or Ultramel or something. What's up with that?
That I actually got that from the same person. I bought that, and he sold it as he put it down as a banana African import. So he got an import a few years back, and he bred it to a banana and whatever else he bred it to, and I ended up getting that from him. And then I bred it to something, and I think I showed you the female. Kind of looks blade-ish, kind of inchy-ish mixed together. Yeah. But the colors on that banana just are a little different to me. So there's a lot of genetics. There's a lot of genes out there that are what are you laughing at?
Just reading some of the comments.
Oh, there's a lot of genes that are out there that are very subtle that don't amount to anything. You know what I mean? There's like banded genes that are, they're super forms of certain genes, but they're so low expression amount to anything. So I'm going to see if I'm going to put that male to that daughter that I got from him,
right?
And just see if there's any kind of super form, if it does anything as far as color or pattern or anything, because it does change the pattern a little bit.
Yeah, and it does color too, man. Because the color on the thing is crazy, and that's an adult. And that thing looks not like just a banana. So, I mean, there's definitely something going on there. And if you could, isolate that and show it. So, okay, let's talk about the cocoa, because you got a little bit more working with that. So what would you like to accomplish with the cocoa gene before you start releasing it?
I'm releasing it now. There's other people that have it. There's probably about a handful of us that have it. And some people have been selling some of it. Okay. Nobody's put it in the clown or pied yet. The project took a long time to get started because the original female came from Africa, but it came as a super form, and it just wouldn't breed for the guy. Mike Smith is who has it. It wouldn't breed for him for the longest time. At least that's what I remember. The story told me or whatever. And then he finally got a couple clutches, whatever. I think 2 or 3 years ago, but it was never like bred back to each other or. It was never really proven or anything.
Okay. So here, do this.
Clown or pied or any of that stuff. So I'm gonna probably. I got some males that I'm growing up now because when I got him, it was a loner male that I got to make the cocoa stuff that I got because I got him into some projects that he didn't have neither. So it's kind of like a trade off. So I'm raising some stuff up now. So you seen the cocoa yellow belly?
Mojave.
No, the leopard one, the one that has like the zipper belly, like a Confusion does.
Yes, yes.
So
it's dope.
he's up to size breeding now. So I'm gonna probably put him to a clown. There's still a lot of work. It takes a long time to prove something out or to see if anything does anything. You know what I mean?
Right,
And then
yeah.
he's working on trying to see if they're allelic with chocolate. If you look at a single gene chocolate and a single gene cocoa, the chocolate doesn't have a busy belly. That's one thing that is a little different.
Yeah.
I've seen, I think Steve had some chocolate Mojaves, and then you compare it to a cocoa Mojave. They're definitely different looking.
Different.
You know what I mean?
And the champagne and chocolate and the champagne and cocoa are different. You seen the champagne cocoa?
Yeah, it interacts with champagne really good. And some other people have put it with champagne in the past, and they had the same response.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's still early. I mean, I feel like you need to put it in with some recessives. Put it in with clown to see what it does, and compare a cocoa clown to a chocolate clown and see if there is huge differences and stuff. And if there is a huge difference, then we're on to something. And if it's pretty close to the same, then it's probably not going to be much going on with that. You know what I mean? So
right, yeah. Well, we'll find out when that clutch hatches out that Mike has.
Hopefully,
that's not going to find. That's just going to find out.
Yeah,
you're going to find out if you get like a super out of it. It's just going to find that out. It's not going to even really tell if it's allelic or not, because an allelic combination is when you have like a freeway or something where you're breeding it. Everything that you breed it to is either going to be asphalt or yellow belly. It's going to be one or the other. So now if he gets a combo with cocoa and chocolate, even if it looks like a super form, now you got to breed. Hopefully he gets a male. You got to breed that to like a normal or something to see if you get all chocolates and all cocos out of that. There will tell you that it's an allelic combination.
There's a lot
or
of
like
work.
a super form. So
yeah, I was just thinking there's so much work to do, and then trying to get it into recessive.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And all that. But that's a lot of fun. That's part of the fun of the journey is getting new genetics and playing around with it and having that.
Absolutely.
Right. The only real work I've done with it was put it to a couple different things to make different combos to see what it does.
Yeah, and it's interesting how like it has that zipper belly, like you said, with some combos, and then other combos it didn't have it. So
yeah,
Mojave. I didn't even look to see what an acid Mojave or a Confusion Mojave, but I know Mojave cleans a lot of bellies up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put it with Mojave, it doesn't have that dirty belly. Like yellow belly, dirty belly, or just a single gene cocoa has a dirty belly and stuff. So
yeah. So listen, how many clutches you guys anticipating this year?
Between 34 and 43, somewhere in there.
Okay, nice, man. That's fucking a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
they're just going to be really late.
Yeah.
Yeah, our season started late. We sold a lot of female breeders. I'm actually selling a lot more of proven breeder females. Just some of the stuff I got early on, I raised up. I got a couple clutches from them and stuff. But like one girl just laid, I put her to a double head hypo zebra, and it's just a Pastavi. It's a pastel Mojave.
Right,
So I got a couple of those girls. I'll be bringing those to Orlando. So if anybody needs some proven breeders.
Yeah. And that's the goal, right? Is not to just hoard everything. It's to keep upgrading and upgrading and upgrading and upgrading.
I got 65 holdbacks here, and they're getting bigger. So I'm moving them up to the bigger racks. And you've seen I have a lot of empty spaces still to move stuff up.
I wouldn't say a lot. Quite a few.
I mean, after that, them holdback racks. Or the holdback. As soon as those animals in the holdback started growing up where they're too big, it would fill everything up. So I would like to start moving some stuff out.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah.
So listen, when you're looking at pairings, right? And you're anticipating clutches. Are you looking at the value of what that clutch could bring? Are you anticipating, okay, on the low end we could probably generate this, on the high end we could probably generate that? Is every clutch?
Every clutch I do that, yes. Every clutch that I do, it's always it's for me, even though we're doing shows and stuff like that, but there's always something that I'm trying to get out of that. Like I said, I got plans 5-10 years from now. So I'm trying to build stuff now in what, for what I have for in the future. So I'm always trying to hold something back out of my clutches. It's always
right. So every clutch has a purpose. You're not just doing it just to have animals for sale.
Right. And then the stuff that I'm doing nowadays, they are going to have some value, especially if I get the odds and stuff like that. If I get good odds, if I get a clutch full of males when I'm looking for females or something like that. You can't really control that. But yeah, I do look at that. I look at the numbers, and first I'm looking at stuff that I want to make for myself. But the stuff that I want to make for myself is expensive stuff if I was to go buy it anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
how accurate do you feel like your forecasting has been when it comes to your clutch values?
I don't try to guess the value of the clutch. I just have a minimum. Like if I can, I keep my what's the word? I keep my level low. What's the word? Expectations or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep that. Like I try to do pairings where the clutch is least worth like $2,500 minimum.
Okay. Cool.
I don't try to reach for the stars and stuff. It's always better to plan for the worst and hope for the best than plan for the best and hope for the worst. So, so I try to keep.
I hope nobody's hoping for the worst.
But yeah, so that's I try to keep right now, and every year my clutch value, I guess I'll raise up every $500 or something. The goal is to try to minimum clutch value would be $5,000 or $2,500 or something.
Yeah, and I noticed
That's minimum. I have $20,000 clutches too. I had a clutch that the one I think I told you about that slugged out 9 eggs.
Yeah,
it was a female pied 100% het clown, and I bred a pastel hurricane red stripe clown to it, so I could have got some visual clown 100% het pieds.
Yeah, the hurricane in it. Those are super dope, man.
Yeah, hurricane.
But you got none. That's the thing. You get. That's part of the game. Is sometimes you get slugs out. Yeah, you got a female that slugs out on you, and there's nothing really.
Lucky thing is I did do that same pairing to another pied, but it was just a regular female pied. It wasn't het clown. So everything I got is double hets, but I did get a nice holdback for me out of that, which is a hurricane red stripe double het clown pied female. So
phenomenal. Yeah, actually super beautiful.
Yeah,
I was trying to stick it in my pocket, but you kept staring at me. No, I was just playing around. But yeah, man, that clutch is definitely beautiful, and you're gonna have some of those available as well, right?
Yeah, I'm keeping. Yeah, we're male heavy in that. Actually, one of them actually passed away. I only got 2 girls. It was 6.2, and I had a couple people interested in the other girl. And then I went, when they hatch out of the egg, I put them on paper towel and keep them in an incubator till they shed out. I went to go change the paper towel, and the other girl, she rolled on me, which really sucked because I had that one basically sold. There's like 3 people that.
But it happens,
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I do have one of the males. I ended up with 2 males that are pastel hurricane red stripe double het clown pied. I'm keeping one of those for now. The other one will be available, and then I think I have a red stripe double het male. And I don't know. I have to look and see what the rest is.
Yeah.
So
there's a couple things. So what's a big project that you're working right now? I know you said you just mentioned Monsoon Genie. What are you trying to do with that? I mean, I know you got great odds on that clutch. You got like a 1.9 on that one, right?
Yeah, that's on that one. Yeah, 1.9. I ended up keeping the whole clutch. They're double.
The whole clutch.
Yeah, well, the thing is you can really pick out the monsoon patterns and stuff, but with Enchi, for me, it's a little tricky, and I've showed it to some others, and I've made a lot of, in the years I've been doing this, a lot of Enchis, just single Enchis, and some of them, they're very sharp and banded, and then others, they're still Enchis, but they're not, you know what I mean? So there's so many different variations. So instead of me trying to figure out which one of the Enchis are het monsoons, I decided just to keep the whole thing. They're supposed to have the genetic testing for monsoon in fall supposedly. So I'll wait till then to get those tested. But yeah, I bred it. So the monsoon male was it's a het monsoon, het lavender albino, and I bred it to a pastel inchy desert ghost, and I got 1.9. I got really good odds on that.
That's
I also got another clutch in the incubator. I think it's 9 eggs in there. So I put it to the same male, which is a double het lavender monsoon. I put it to a yellow belly butter pastel genetic stripe, because who knows what a genetic stripe monsoon is going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. So those,
I think I showed you 2 of the girls that I got. They're probably close to breeder size now, but I want to wait till next season. I ultrasounded. I didn't see any follicles, but you could tell they're monsoons, 100% het monsoons.
Yeah. So those two,
they're pieds too. They're 100% het pieds. So I'm hoping to do that next year. So I'd say the monsoon is probably one of my biggest projects, the thing that I have the most animals of that I'm working for. But I have a lot of other, puzzle's another big one for me. Cypress, as far as the codoms go.
Trojan, hopefully.
That's not a super big project. I have a couple
you got
clutches.
quite a few.
I got a couple clutches in the incubator, but it's not like one of my bigger projects. So
that's gonna be amazing to see, man. A freaking monsoon lavender DG or a monsoon lavender genetic stripe. What is that even gonna look like? Exciting stuff.
I don't know, man.
We're excited.
I've been working on a genetic stripe puzzle too.
Yeah.
A lot of people know that. I did end up hitting the very first one. Unfortunately, it has spider in it. So spider is an overpowering gene. So it's really hard to see the potential in that because of the spider. So I'm trying to make another one, double visual without the spider to see if it's something that's worth moving forward with.
Yeah, the spider gene. Like I noticed that with puzzle, it definitely is a pattern changing genetic, right? But it's not, it's not super powerful when it comes to working with other genetics.
Yeah, when you add it to other recessives, it's actually a weaker gene as far as recessive. Weaker meaning that it's overpowered pretty easy by other genes.
Yeah.
For example, like the pied puzzle, it looks like pretty much like a regular pied with the eye stripes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't seen too much of the clown puzzle, but from what I heard, it's basically the same thing, just the eye stripes. I could be wrong on that. I've seen one and they said it was a clown puzzle. But maybe they were wrong. Maybe it wasn't. But
yeah, there's some things that aren't they're not like super. They don't have that big wow factor. But in some cases, those animals are great foundational animals for future projects. Like some people don't like the DG Sunset. They feel like it's underwhelming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I'm like, dude, it separates the alien heads from the blushing and the dorsal. Like that's what was necessary for Sunset, right? Because now you can add other things in there where you can see the difference between the alien heads and the dorsal and stuff like that. So, it's all about vision. You got to have vision of what something's going to look like before it gets here. And that's where you're going to keep yourself ahead of the curve, right?
Well, it's kind of like we're chefs. You think about when you're cooking, you add salt to something and it might not be the greatest, but then you add pepper and garlic to it, then, it ends up being fantastic. It's the same thing with when you're breeding snakes, you add spider to something and, it's not the greatest, but you take that out and you add yellow belly and, chocolate or something to it, and then it ended up being, something crazy. So
amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And you never know until you do it. And the thing is, don't wait for
someone else. What you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what you don't know.
That's where you're gonna have that shirt made, right?
Yeah, man, just for you, bro. I'll bring it to the tunnel for you.
All right.
It's gonna say Jeremy Baud doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Yep, until I know.
So yeah, let's talk about vending for a little bit. So you've been doing it since your first year.
Yeah.
What are maybe some things that the typical person that's wanting to vend overlooks?
I would say
What's your first tip?
I would say, and actually Adam was I was listening to the Holdback Rec today, and Adam was on there from Proper Royals, and they were talking, actually telling him to get 2 tables, and that's one thing. If you're going to vend, get at least 2 tables. Even if you have one display, fill it with shirts or whatever you can fill it with, because not only does it give you more room in the back, to move around. But if you have just one table, you kind of get lost in the crowd. You know what I mean? If you have two tables, so when you're buying your material, you're get good tablecloths and stuff like that too.
Your presentation is a big thing.
Right.
First impressions are all of it.
Yeah. So definitely get like good clean displays.
I was just gonna ask you guys, how much have you spent on your entire show setup? Because you guys have a dope setup. What does that look like?
We actually have 3 sets of displays.
Yeah, we have 3 different kinds.
Yeah.
I would say we probably easily 10 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't use all the different displays all the time at the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have ARS display cases. We have
next level,
and then we have LP caging.
LP racks.
Oh, LP racks. Yeah. They're over in Denmark. So
but they're good for different things. So we use them for different purposes. Geckos are good for the ARS ones because they have individuals. The LP racks are nice because they have nice bright lights.
We learned at the last show they are not for geckos. Though.
No, because when you open the lid, you've got 5 exposed and
it's one piece of plexi that covers like 5 or 6 or 4 or whatever.
I mean, it was only like that for the first hour of the show. Afterwards, they all chilled out.
Yeah, I almost threw the display cases. I was getting frustrated because you're trying to close it and one would crawl out. You put that one back, another one would crawl out. You're trying to, and then there was all 4 hands in there trying to get
put them in
just to shut the lid.
Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
So we learned the last show. We're always learning, man. That's the thing. We're always learning. We learn not to use the LP rack cages or display cages or display whatever for the geckos.
I mean, now we can sit back and laugh at it. So
no, listen, you didn't know what you didn't know, right? And you learned it the hard way.
You don't know what you don't know, so you know. So.
Well, that one I feel like should have been a little bit more common sense for us.
Yeah, I didn't know that Cresties were super active. Anytime I've ever seen a Cresty, they're just chilling. You got
to think it's a new environment for them. So
hey, Small Town's in. He made it. He was first.
Now we're 30 minutes in. You're first, buddy.
Cut the line. We'll let him cut the line.
Okay, so make sure that you're presenting your business on a professional level and making sure that the displays and your whole setup is looking good because it represents who you are, right?
Yeah. I mean, you only have one try to impress a customer.
Yes, good
Be
point.
prepared. Make a list. Talk to some other people. If you're doing this for the first time, make a list and things that you need. There's certain things that you wouldn't even think about needing, like tape, scissors.
Let's hear about it. Yeah, talk about it.
What's that?
Talk about it. That's what we're here for. Let people know.
I mean, bring. What I like to do is I have what's that? It's that spray for mites. It's right there. I can't read it though because it's
Prevenamite.
Prevenamite. What I do at every show, when I first go to the show, I take Prevenamite and I just go around my tablecloth, just real quick, all the way around it, because you're at a reptile show. Who knows what else is going on in those shows? Right. So when I set up, I do that, and then the next morning I do the same thing, go around it, and just to help keep with that. I never picked anything up from the shows, but it could be because I've done that.
Right. Yeah. Actually, I've never heard anyone say they do that. So that's a little gem right there for everybody listening.
Yeah. There's a lot of different things. You want to make sure, have business cards, cleaning gloves. You want to have wipies because you're going to get snakes that poop and stuff like that. Sometimes you get lucky.
We always forget something. It seems
if you're doing a show, we usually don't feed any of our animals a week prior to the show. That way
let's rephrase that. We don't feed the snakes because I still feed the geckos and
the snakes. Stuff. Yeah, because other words, you're gonna get up the next morning and have 5 or 6 snake shits in the display cases. You got to clean them out and stuff, So
Nice. Yeah, that makes good sense. What do you guys have your animals on in the displays? Are they on paper? Are they on
It
cocoa?
depends which species.
Yeah, the ball pythons we use. What's that white stuff called? The
The reptiliners.
no. The
Oh, it's like the little white chips.
yeah. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, the alpha dry.
Alpha dry. Okay. Yeah.
For the geckos, I use the reptiliners or the repti-absorbs, you know, the little thin paper, because they do pee and poop, so it kind of absorbs that. As far as the rhino iguanas, we put the cypress bedding down for them, because that's, you know, best for them to have for the humidity.
Yeah, so when we do the rhino iguanas, we actually bring tanks, like a
Yeah, we
36
don't
inch
put
tank.
ours in. That's one thing, is a lot of people will just bring them and put them in deli cups and put them on the table. We actually, when we bring our lizards, like the rhinos or the pectinatas, we have a whole cage setup that we do for them. So they have their heat, their lighting, their UVB. They get fed. They have water. So, and they have decor in there, so they can actually still have their enrichment.
Yeah, and actually
it looks better. They look more natural
better
instead of being in a
presented.
deli cup. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. And you're setting a great example for people that are interested in those animals, because you know they might not know what it's necessary to take care of those, or
yeah,
what.
so they might not know what they don't know.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you know, most people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah,
Right.
Well, they know.
I mean, it just makes it, I feel it looks better than having, you know, 15 deli cups sitting on the table.
Yeah, for sure. There's a little motivation you're giving to Justin. No doubt.
I did that earlier today.
So what was the expectation when you first started vending shows, and how has that evolved into, you know, what you're experiencing now?
Our expectation was nothing at first.
We didn't have it. Our very first show, I think we did $600, and we were happy as fuck. We're dancing and
we were happy.
Yeah, we're happy as shit, because we were like, oh man, I think we brought 14 snakes, and they were like pastel Mojaves, or
it was nothing,
you know,
big.
nothing big. You know, it's our very first show, and well, what happened? I
don't know. I'm frozen.
Are you lagging or something?
I might be. I mean, I can still hear you clear.
Yeah, maybe.
You're laughing, but you're talking, which is weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
But yeah, it's like, and then we did we had like certain expectations we'd like to hit at the end of each weekend or whatever, you know. Right. So it turned into like, well, if we can do $1,500 at the end of the weekend, we're good. And then, you know, every year that just kept going up, and we kept hitting it.
Like, so if we have to get a hotel room, if we have to, you know, spend money for food, are we coming home? Are we going out? What are we doing? So if we're having to have more expenses, our expectation needs to be
higher.
More. Like, we vend Tinley now, so our expectation has to be a lot more, because that's a lot more expense for us to go to Tinley.
Yeah, it costs us probably about $2,000.
I know. I think it's closer to $3,000 by the time you get the hotel room.
Because she flies,
and I have to fly because of work.
Me and Steve and Jeremy Smith, we drive. We just take turns, you know, driving back and forth. You know, every tank will switch off or whatever. But you know, we got gas paying for that on the way up there. She flies in the hotel. And then,
the tables are more expensive there. You know, you've got all those expenses.
So yeah, I guess to answer your question, it kind of depends on the shows as far as what expectations you have.
Right. Yeah. If it's something local, you know, the expectation doesn't have to be too high. But I mean, you're traveling up north across states, like you're staying at hotels, you got to eat, it's gas, it's everything.
Not only that, but I'm also missing, you know, 2 days of work doing that show, you know, because I'm taking that. Well, actually more, missing 3 days, because we're leaving Thursday.
Well, you leave Thursday, Friday. Yeah.
And then Monday. Yeah.
So 3 days of work.
So it's like but it, you know, it was worth it when we went. Plus, it's a blast, anyways. I mean,
we have a great time.
Yeah, it's always fun at shows. I've only been to a handful, but I mean, it's a great time every time. Have you guys always been in the green? Have you ever been in the red when you vended a show?
When we vended a show, no, we're always, our very first show. I said I think it was Tampa, and we did $600. We had one table.
Well, now let's also say we're not getting like $15,000 at a show, you know?
No, it's not about that. It's just
So-
about the
No,
question.
he's
was
asking,
basically,
he's asking if we ever lost money.
Yeah, I
we
know.
always every show we've
always
always
made-
done what our line that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
right.
You know, we
Now,
always
listen,
we always reached what our expectations were.
Right.
you
We
two are
wanted.
definitely
There's a couple times we were above that, which was really nice by a few $1,000s. You know,
Yeah.
but we've never, knock on wood, you know, had a bust or anything like that.
That's
Which
good,
I know
man.
Adam, and it's not a secret because I keep bringing Adam up because he was on holdback rack, and he was talking about that today. That his first, you know, when he first started doing some local shows or whatever, that he like walked out with like $79 sale or something like that, you know, and and then by the time you pay for the tables and all that, but you get your name out there, you know, and then sometimes you get people that talk to you at the show, and then a week later, it always seems like every show we do, we always sell a couple snakes within the next 2 weeks after that from people that were at the shows too.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Actually, that was going to be my next question was, you know, you guys are super awesome people and like you guys just project good energy. So,
Oh, thank you. You're awesome too.
No. What are some habits? What are some habits that you guys have at shows that maybe makes you stand out from other vendors that maybe don't do so well?
Scratching my ass or something?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. And then it goes like this.
Yeah.
It's more of we love what we do. So, for example, I had a friend purchase a gecko from me at the last show, and she said she never thought she would own a lizard, and she wasn't even, you know, into them. And then she saw one of mine and she really loved it. But she said what it was how excited I was about it made her love it even more.
It helps if you have a passion for this and people can see that.
Yeah, because then it's just pouring out of you. You don't even try.
Yeah, right? It just happens because we get so excited when we're there. We actually really do have a great time.
Yeah, and the thing is like even if you're not making a lot of sales, still have a good time because it's about marketing, right? People spend thousands of dollars on marketing, and when you go to a show, that's a form of marketing. You know, you're putting your business name out there, you're putting everything about your brand out there. So it's super important. So listen, I want to try something with you guys that I haven't tried yet, and it's just kind of gives a little perspective to somebody that's maybe just wanting to get in. So I guess we could do both of you. Jeremy, you'll do snakes, and then Jeannie, you could do Cresties.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you like a budget, right? And you're brand new to this. You've done your knowledge, your research. You've built relationships. You've got advice. You're ready to pull the trigger. You got about 5,000 on you. What are you doing with it?
I got one question on that.
Yeah, sure.
Is the budget including your racks and all that stuff too?
Just animals
and all that, or just the animal?
Just the animals. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing with $5,000?
I'm gonna put it aside and save another $5,000 and buy.
That wasn't the option.
If I had $5,000 right now,
yeah, $5,000 right now. You have no.
I'm trying to think. I would probably buy something that I have now, but if I had nothing, I would probably try to see if I can get a pair of het monsoons. To be honest with you.
Okay, so you're gonna go on the lower amount of animals, but with a higher value.
Yeah, I would definitely use. I you know, that's why I said if I had more than that, I would.
Will said Odie Vanilla Puzzle from Aussie. What have we got in there? What is that thing that you got? Vanilla?
Oh no, that's Desert Ghost Hypo Het Clown Vanilla that we have in there. So
here's the thing, Will, is that you got $5,000 only and you get one snake. What are you gonna do with that thing? Just look at it.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I said, well, I'd save another because I would use that for one snake, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. So you only have $5,000.
When do I get more money to buy something else?
After you breed your snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of tough because if $5,000
take your time, man. Take your time. I'm not rushing you.
$5,000's not enough for him.
It's not enough to get one snake, man. Because I mean, if I'm trying to, you don't want to go out and use $5,000 and buy 5 snakes, because you're just going to make lower end stuff. And it's the higher end stuff. Not only will look awesome when you're hatching them and stuff, but they'll move. People will be more interested in like be fighting to buy the stuff from you. So I would definitely probably buy a female with that. A recessive het or something with some codoms in there, depending on what's even out there on the market, and then later on pick up a male for that. Yeah.
What recessives would you do? Those two?
I don't know, man. I'm digging the monsoon stuff, to be honest with you, because there's not a whole lot of that stuff that's been done yet. So
it's still fresh.
Yeah, it's still fresh. I mean, there's Monarch. There's not a lot of people working with Monarch. You want to find something that there's not a whole lot of. Clown is always good, but there's so much of that and so many people are working with that. But if you have Clown and then say Monarch or Monsoon or something together, like a visual head or something, that'd be a way to go. I would definitely work the recessives though, if you can get a nice codom in there. But you gave me a very, very low budget.
You gave him
I know. I purposely gave you a low budget because not everybody has 20,000, 50,000.
Yeah, so I would definitely get some kind of recessive female, or double recessive. You can do that because you can make your money back on that, and then in another 6 months or whatever, start looking for quarters on the street or something, and put up enough pennies and buy a really nice male. Hopefully more than $5,000 for the male. And then you get your first clutch from that, and then you're only feeding 2 snakes too, so you don't have to worry and stress out about getting, a ton of rodents.
He's
and
getting deep in this
and all that stuff.
That's okay. That's okay. That's good, because at the end of the day, scratching the surface doesn't give everybody what they don't know. They don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, see, my thing when I started, I wish I knew myself now back then, because I would have told myself, and if I didn't listen, I would have kicked me a couple times. But that's what I was doing. I was buying a ton of collections that were proven breeders. And I say that, but I don't regret it, because it did teach me a lot of stuff. I learned how to palpate. I learned, good stuff, bad stuff, how to sell, how to sex, all that, a bunch of stuff. I learned a lot of that. But I feel like this time around, like if you did that nowadays, it wouldn't.
You're going to fall.
There's a lot more breeders than there was 7 years ago. Right. Selling those lower end stuff, and I think you're going to be hanging on to those or trying to wholesale those. So this day and age, I would definitely use that $5,000 just to buy one animal.
And then save up your money to get a male before.
Yeah, and then by the time you get a clutch with that, then you're talking, probably $30,000 clutch or whatever, 20,000 or whatever. Then you keep whatever out of that. So now you got more animals, and then you're selling some of that, and then that's how you're going to build.
Right.
Don't try to get super big, super fast, especially if you have a budget of say like $5,000, and that's how I would do it now.
Yeah, that makes good sense. So
definitely promote yourself all over the place, Instagram, whatever, however you want to do it, YouTube, all that stuff. Get your name out there.
So let me sum it up for you. So focus on recessives that are in high demand with low supply. If you can, work on saving money to purchase a male later on and get a powerful female now that you raise up and get her ready, for the future. And then with the animals that you make from that, hold a couple back, sell some more, and then reinvest, and then the cycle continues.
Exactly.
Yep. Nice. Good advice, man. All right. So G, what about some Cresties? Let's go. You have a little time.
You can't use my answer.
No, but it is similar to him. It would be some of the stuff.
It can't be close to mine.
I'm gonna push you out of that chair. It has to be totally different. I'm gonna push him out of that chair. It'd be something that I've already purchased. Every snake I try to buy. Sorry. Buy lately is at least $1,000 or more. Yeah. I would go probably into the pinks again, the pink geckos, because they are a little bit more difficult to make. And I kind of find that like a challenge. And right now, which I think there are a few out there, but there isn't like a ton. I'm trying to make a pink lily white. So I've got a really good lily white that I'm pairing my pink male to this coming season. So hopefully I'll be able to hit those.
So how many pinks So it's different with Cresties because you don't know if it's a male or a female until they're
For a
older,
little
right?
while. Yeah.
So you got $5,000. You're looking at pinks. Are you looking at mature breeders?
No. No, I wouldn't be able to do that with mature breeders.
Just came out of the egg. Yeah, I'm showing off my snake, man. I'm happy about it.
Jeannie, did anything I gave you from Tinley turn out nice? Yeah, they did turn out nice, D. I'll have to talk to you about that later on. But I would do my pink boy, and I'm only gonna get maybe a pair with that $5,000, and they're gonna have to be. Now I say this, and it's a little bit different because I kind of got into Cresteds when it was COVID time, so it was more expensive. Just like even with the snakes, right? Everything was more expensive at that time, to where now everything is kind of fluctuating back down. So to get a really nice pink and a lily white, I can probably do that with $5,000 now.
Okay. All right, so there you go, guys. If you got $5,000 and you want to get into ball pythons, Jeremy Baud had some advice for you, and Jeannie's letting you know to get into some pinks and lily whites. If you got that $5,000 ready to go, don't go cheap and high quantity. Go low quantity and higher value.
Yes.
Good stuff. So do you guys have, like, who are you guys going to now for? You've been in for a while. You're super knowledgeable on a lot of different things. You've got a bunch of different species. Who do you guys go to for advice or to bounce things back and forth with? Like, who are your go-to people?
I got a shout out. Yeah, I got a few, man. I talk to, like we said, Steve Casino. I talk to him like almost every single day. Dale Richardson, talk to him. Jason Abraham from Abe's Exotics, talk to him. There's just a few friends.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I'm trying to figure out if, certain genetics or something like that, or I bounce stuff off of them guys. I've learned a lot, like I said earlier, from just listening and educating myself through a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. You'd be surprised when you're listening to hundreds of podcasts a year or whatever, just on reptiles in general. You pick up a lot of stuff,
Yeah, how many of your questions get answered just by absorbing?
A lot of them, yeah. And then you're getting different answers from different people, and you kind of put it together and choose what you feel is like.
I'm in a couple of Crested gecko chats with some friends, lovable geckos, Blue Ridge geckos, hellish geckos. I do a lot of talking with them, and there's also Brian at the shows that I talk to, Guardian of the Geckos. He answers a lot of questions. And Rack House as well. Kelly and Paul, I talk to a lot as well.
Phenomenal. Yeah. So building relationships and having those people, at your fingertips is definitely helpful and useful. Not only for you guys, but for them too. I'm sure they bounce stuff back off of you guys.
I mean, it helps because, sometimes you're thinking so hard about one way, and maybe you're not thinking about something else, and they can throw you in that direction.
Yeah, the different perspectives. Super important to build these relationships and to have that. So what does like your 5-year goals look like for Baud Exotic Reptiles?
I'd like to say I can, I'm 51 years old. I'd like to retire from putting cabinets in. I've been doing construction since I was like 16 years old, and body's getting beat up, so I'd like to probably not fully retire, but if I can do like 2-3 days a week, is putting cabinets in or whatever still.
Hopefully we will be able to
I'd like to do
full time.
I'd like to do more shows. I like shows. It's tough now. I heard her saying earlier, every show we've ever been to, we've always been together, whether we're vending or just, checking things out or whatever. We always go together. And it's tough for her sometimes to do a lot more shows because of her job. Because she's a school teacher, so she only gets so many days that she can miss or whatever. Me, I'm self-employed, so I can take whatever days off. But this is something we started together. We're always going to do it together, and so I eventually I would like to start doing more shows. I just like doing shows. I like meeting new people, like seeing old friends, and stuff like that. So that's one of the goals I'd like to do, and that will come.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
It will come.
Definitely, you know, I'd like to go more into the higher end stuff. You know,
What do you
but
think the best thing? What do you think the best combo you could hit in the next like 5 years would be, or what would be like the combo as of right now in your head that you're like, fuck yeah, that's what it is? Is it a quad? Is it more codoms into a triple or a double? Or
I don't think I'll be doing. I mean, I might make triples or something, but I mean, a desert ghost monsoon pied. I mean, I can't really say because I don't know what a monsoon pied. I don't know what that looks like.
yeah, that's the
If it
beauty of
ends up being something badass, and throw DG in there, you know. And if it ends up
Mhm.
looking even good like that, then you know, throw Ultramel or Monarch or something like that on top of it. So it's. I say I have plans for the future, like 5-6 years ahead, which I
Mhm.
do, but they change because the stuff I'm trying to make has never even been seen before. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like the puzzle genetic stripe. If that ends up not being something really cool, then I'll just probably never pair a double het genetic stripe puzzle or anything to the females. I'll use the females just as het puzzles and forget the genetic stripe. So that's an example like that. That's something that I was really concentrating on, you know, for the last 3 years. But if it doesn't pan out, then that project will change. So it's hard to say 5 years what the snake I'm trying to make is, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But I like to pick brains, man, and make you think about things because
Yeah,
it's
I mean, hopefully a genetic stripe monsoon would be something really badass, and then throw
Hopefully.
DG, and I'll probably get, you know, I got so much some vanilla, or not vanilla, but lavender floating around in that stuff too. So maybe, you know, I can make a lavender genetic stripe monsoon, and maybe that's some kick-ass shit with yellow belly and all that. I mean, that's a very strong possibility that could happen in 5 years for me, you know. So,
yeah, I like that question because it gives you the opportunity to express your vision verbally, right?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people, you know, we all have these ideas, but we don't say it out loud, and people don't actually hear these things. So, yeah, I saw you squirming a little bit, like, oh fuck, man, 5 years, I don't know what the hell I want to do.
no, I'm squirming because it's
There's
not
so
trying.
much.
I'm not trying to dig for one. I'm trying to pick one out of like 50 things that I got going in my head.
Yeah, no, I love
I'm
it.
also working on hypo puzzle stuff, you know, and ultramel puzzle stuff. I got stuff cooking up for that, or not cooking in the incubator, but I got stuff in the making for all that, you know. So
Hell yeah, exciting stuff, man. Actually, yo, Joey D, did you hear that? Hypo puzzle stuff, Ultramel puzzle stuff. I was talking to Joe about what his vision is for his puzzle projects and stuff like that. And my best advice to him was find out who's working puzzle projects and what they're doing with it, and build relationships with them so that you're in the same realm, right? Because if you're just in monsoon and you're by yourself, like you can only go but so far, and it's better to have a network of people that are working the same projects as you so that you can grow together, basically.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a girl. I'm waiting on her to lay eggs. Actually, super inchy hypo, and I put a banana puzzle. I mean, they're all going to be double hets, but I'm only probably going to keep one of those girls, and then everything else will be up for grabs. And she's a huge girl, so
Yeah, you're gonna have lots of babies. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed, right?
everything
Big
will be
girl-
everything
big
will be
girl, big clutches.
everything will be double het at minimum.
Yeah.
So
That's gonna be interesting, man. Genetic stripe and puzzle and genetic stripe and monsoon.
Yeah.
I love that you're working genetic stripe because I like that gene. Some people don't. I definitely do. Yeah, I'm excited for that monsoon genetic stripe though for you.
yeah. Well,
What
that's
if
a
it
little,
makes something cool? You
that's
never
a little
know.
yeah. That's a
That's
little
what I'm
ways
saying,
away
yeah.
though. I mean, I got the eggs to make the double head, or there's going to be double heads that I'm making right now that are in the incubator. So that's a little bit of ways. Could be triple heads because I keep, you know, I talk about the het monsoon, but a lot of times I forget that there's also het lavender too. You know, so
Yeah, exactly. Bonus gene.
yeah.
Yeah.
So are you guys selling anything besides the animals? Are you into cocoa? Are you into you know, any kind of like
No dry
different products?
goods. No dry goods.
I mean, we sell, you know, crack sometimes.
Oh my gosh, no.
Oh, cool, man.
No.
Just our T-shirts. That's the only
I saw
dry
cabinets.
goods.
Yeah. I think
Anybody
I saw
need
it.
cabinets? Call me.
Are you selling that Da Vinci Boa stuff? I feel like I saw
Yeah,
it
I do
on.
have that. Yeah,
Well, some of it, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I got quite a few bottles of that. I'll have that in Orlando. I have 3 different sizes, so
I forgot because Tenley was the first show we did that at.
yeah.
Okay, so you do have a couple different. Well, you guys have a bunch of streams of income, because you have so many different species, and then you're doing the Da Vinci Boa. What do you think is like your best revenue like source? Would you say it's like Instagram or MorphMarket or doing the shows? Like, where do you guys do the best at?
Right now, it's
I'd
probably
say
the shows.
yeah, the shows we do really good at. So I'd say when we do the shows, if we're not doing the shows, then we're not doing them.
A lot of
If we're not doing the shows, then we're not doing them. Hey, that can go right next to you don't know what you don't know.
I mean, it depends. MorphMarket was really great during COVID time, and
Right.
even when shows were still happening, but maybe they weren't happening in other places. So that was great. But I feel like shows are our biggest right now.
Are there any shows that you guys have not vended that you're excited to maybe get into later on down the line?
I'd like to start
Yeah.
doing Arlington eventually. We're really happy to get into Tinley.
Yeah.
And because there's people that I know that have been on the waiting list for that show for years. And oh wait, are you lagging? You're talking, but I don't hear nothing.
No, I'm not talking. It's just trying to catch up to me.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, we're very excited to get that. So we're always going to be at all the Tinley shows, and we now have 2 tables, which is even better because it's kind of tricky to get in there. We're always going to be doing Daytona, but I'd like to do Arlington. I'd like to, dabble into that a little bit. Maybe
go to Atlanta.
Yeah, maybe in another couple years or something, start hitting the Georgia shows or something.
Cool, man. So does you having different species on your table give you an advantage when it comes to getting tables at shows?
Yes, 1,000%. That showed that proved at our last show. Because
no, he's talking about getting the show, that's how we were able to get into Tinley.
Oh, okay.
Is because of all the different species. When we went to go fill out, we were trying to put our name on the list, and he's like, "Well, if you're just selling ball pythons, you're probably gonna have to wait 5 years." And I was like, "No, we have ball pythons, we have geckos, we have
pectinatas,
rhino iguanas, Aki monitors, Uromastics, tortoises." And they put us right at the top of the list, but we just got to make sure, like, we're going there. Well, we're going to be bringing geckos, ball pythons. We have 2 tables, so we're going to be, bringing just a limited amount of each. But, we're going to be bringing the pectinatas, rhino iguanas, geckos.
Any geckos, if I have any left.
Yeah, if there's any geckos left, and then whatever ball python. Well, I know I have more because I got stuff in the incubator and stuff. So.
Yeah. Ideally, how many tables would you like to have because you have so many different species? Like
for Tinley,
2 or 3 is probably max.
I say Tinley probably just 2.
Oh, okay.
Because of the travel and all that. And the thing is right now, I don't know. I'm sure it's probably going to be for a little bit. I'm not sure yet. But, Jeremy Smith, Fireball, and then me, and then Steve Casino, we all go down in Steve's van. So we got 3 vendors worth of stuff, so we're limited on how much extra space we can have anyways. But I'm for Tinley, I'm good with 2. I mean, maybe eventually 3, right. But I think when we do the 3 tables, we're probably going to have to do the drive ourselves. It's 17 hours. It's much nicer and easier when you have 2 other people where every time you stop for gas, you're switching drivers.
Makes
definitely a huge difference.
100%. So are you guys doing local shows, or are you only focused more on the bigger shows?
No, we do all the Tampas and all the Orlando Repticons.
And Daytona.
Okay. And Daytona. We do all the Daytona.
Tinley.
Yeah. They're basically the 4 shows we're doing now.
And that almost keeps us busy to where we almost have a show every single month.
Oh, yeah. Repticon gets a little crazy sometimes. They got shows like every week, everywhere.
We used to do the Lakeland show, the fire show. I think we did that a couple times, right?
We did it a few times, but I think that is the 1 month that we kind of take off.
Take a little break.
Because it's so close to the Tampa show. I think is what it was.
Yeah.
That it's like we were back-to-back shows, and
I would say out of all the Florida Repticon shows, I think the best two are going to be the Tampa and the Orlando.
well, they're probably the two biggest.
Yeah, I say that not just because of my own experience, but from what I've heard many others say, as far as the Florida Repticons.
Right.
So that's the two we're always going to be at, you know.
So the next 3 shows that you guys have will be the Orlando at the end of this month, right? Or
Tinley and Daytona.
and then Daytona in August, and then Tinley October. So if you're watching this and you're around any of those shows, make sure you go stop by their table. Jeremy loves it when you smack him on the ass and give him a little wink. No, I'm just playing. Don't do that.
Ray likes it when you check his oil.
No. We don't do that. No, but definitely stop by their tables and say hi and let them know that you saw them here and that you appreciate the show. What is your best advice for somebody wanting to take this more seriously? And then after you say that, we'll get into the giveaways and we'll be wrapped up.
Well, I won't even answer that question unless I know that person has passion for what they're doing. If you don't have the passion, don't even try it, because you're going to be out in 2 or 3 years. I can tell you that now. I feel like I'm still very new, even though we've been doing this 6-7 years now. But I've seen people come and go that were just trying to do it for dollars. You got to like what you're doing.
You gotta, there's a lot of work. This is not always just have fun. There's a lot of cleaning. There's a lot of work that comes along with having it.
And the advice I have for that is you're going to get kicked. Even with the passion, you're going to get kicked. We just got kicked. You know, I told you that snake that we had that passed. We had some pectinatas that they're not even due to hatch until the 22nd. Last year they went, you know, because they
Past the due date.
They went past the due date, which is 90 days. And they, you know, it was probably like 20 days or 15, 20 days past the 90 days of when they're supposed to be in the incubator. And I checked by looking in the window, and you can see in the egg box and see how big and plump the eggs are. I happened to pull them out right after you left, actually, or the day after, I think. And I opened it up, and then I see towards the back of the incubator, like 5 of them actually pipped and tried coming out, and they're all dried up and shriveled up.
No, it wasn't 5. There was only 2 of those like that. The other were 3 eggs that had dried up.
Yeah. Well, So, I mean, that
was really...
Yeah, that sucked, because that's 5 animals that if I would have looked probably 3 days earlier, that would probably still be here, you know?
It was just crap.
I just try not, you know, and I've heard, this is our 2nd year doing pectinatas, you know, and I've heard that during incubation, you know, the eggs are not, you know, ball python eggs, they're not as, they're more fragile, I guess, the pectinatas. Like, you don't want to go in there and pull the lids and stuff like that, because temperature changes can really mess with those. That's what somebody told me. So I'm trying not to like mess with them too much. I just look through the glass and through the clear tubs and stuff like that. So between that and then that snake that passed, and then, you know, we had the clutch with the 9 slugs. That was a $20,000 clutch, easy.
It was a rough month.
Yeah, you're going to get kicked sometimes. You just got to know that it could always be worse. And there's a couple times in this, both of us, you know, at different times, she would say, are we making the right decision by doing this? You know, because we'll have some bad luck here and there. And
question what's going on.
Yeah. So you know, the good thing is we both have that question at different times. So she's asking me, I'm like, no, man, it's good, you know, and vice versa. You know, I go to her and she's, you know, no, it's stick it out, you know. So my advice is, you're going to get kicked. Just get back up, man, and keep doing it. If you have the passion for this, it will always come back around.
And have somebody to talk to when it gets down to that, to kind of like,
get your energy back up.
Yeah. Because we all need that.
Yeah, 100%. There's plenty of times, just in life in general, where you're down, and just speaking to somebody with a good attitude or a positive outlook is gonna, you know, change your mindset,
right?
And you know, give you that kick in the ass that you need to get back, you know, back on the grind.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, 100%. So that's great advice, man. Definitely have that passion and roll with the punches.
Yeah, exactly. I like how you break it down simple.
And you got this long explanation.
I need to talk to Ray more often and simplify things. I could have answered that in just that quick.
No, it's all good, man, because you know, you don't know what you don't know.
Yes, yeah. Still don't know. That's what's fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have that shirt for you by Daytona. Don't even worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm laughing actually because I just like picturing what the shirt's gonna look like. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. All right, so listen. Speaking of shirts, if you're just tapped in and this is your first time here, we give a giveaway at the end of every show. It's a T-shirt for the Reptile Podcast. It will have what are we on? Episode number 8, right? Episode number 8. It's gonna say episode number 8, and it's gonna say Baud's Exotic Reptiles, and it'll have your personal business name or your personal name on the sleeve if you want, along with some other cool things. Actually, here, let me show you what it looks like. 1 second. So this is what the shirt looks like, and we're gonna do that giveaway right now. The way I'm gonna do it is I'll say 3 hashtags. First 5 people to put in those 3 hashtags will get put on a wheel. We spin the wheel.
Oh, can I pick one of the hashtags?
Yeah, actually, you're gonna do the hashtags for your $100 credit.
Okay.
Or your $30. Wait, are you doing? Is it 2?
No, it's one. It's one or the other. They can either do 30% off on whatever, or they can do $100 gift card or credit, but it has to be an animal that's at least $200 or more.
Sweet deal, man. That's super generous, dude. And also this is what the shirt looks like. That's my boy Pat from Dragon Soul. Shout out to my boy.
What's up with the Barbie lips?
I had to put a fake smile on him because he gave me a stale face. So now this is my
That's the punishment.
Yeah, this is my go-to picture to show off the My Favorite Reptile Podcast t-shirt. So appreciate you, Pat. Thank you. Love you.
That's funny as hell. I want a t-shirt with that on it.
Oh man, super funny, dude. I love this guy. All right, so here we go. 3 hashtags. This is for actually, you know what? Last week we couldn't give away a t-shirt because we had the crazy spam going on, which I'm super glad none of that shit happened this show. So really awesome. But because I didn't give away one last week, I'm gonna give away 2 this show. So I'll do 2, and then you guys can run your hashtags, and then we'll wrap it up. Are you joining us on Hair Down tonight?
Possibly.
Yeah, man. Show off some of those babies you got, bro. We want to see the pastel hurricane double hets.
He's got to get some dinner first.
Yeah, they're in the incubator still going through their first shed cycle, so they're not going to look that great right now.
Oh, got you. Oh, there he is right there. Look. Dragon Soul.
With the Barbie lips. The Barbie dream house lips.
Dream house.
Oh man, I'm freaking freezing up here, man. I don't know, man. I pay Comcast like almost $300 a month, and this internet sucks ass. So I gotta figure something out. Maybe I need to hardwire it and not be on Wi-Fi.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll try that out next show. It's growing pains.
Yep.
Okay, so the 3 hashtags, guys, put them in the chat. The first ones that pop up on the StreamYard are the ones that will be in that order. I'm not looking at YouTube, so it is what it is. Let's go hashtag awesome for the Bauds. Hashtag MFRP. And hashtag t-shirt.
Motherfucking
right, punk. Motherfucking right, punk.
Oh. Okay.
All right, let's go, guys. So hashtag awesome, hashtag MFRP, and what was the other hashtag? T-shirt.
T-shirt, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so first one.
Windy City.
Whoa, coming in fast. All right, you guys stop.
Look. They came
yeah, geez, yeah.
Yeah, that was fast, right? All right, first one is Sacred Serpents. Second one is Pressure Pythons. Third one is Morph Master J. Fourth one is Eric's Morph Factory. And fifth one is Morph Valley. All right, I got my little wheel here. I am lagging, so hopefully you guys can see this. Wow, look at that cool green screen effect right there.
Number 2.
Number 2, pressure pythons. Let's go, big dog Justin. You put it out there. You said, I need one of those shirts. And now you're going to get one. So that's super awesome, man. Hit me up in the DMs for your shirt size and your address. And not going to lie, it might take a little bit to get to you, but it will get there, promise. All right. And now let's do 3 more hashtags for the second shirt. Yo, don't forget me. Remember me forever. This is why we're here.
Wait, is that your hashtag?
No.
Oh.
All right, you know what? Just for Juan, for the next shirt, we're gonna do hashtag Windy, hashtag City, and hashtag Morphs. Let's go. No chance with that lag. Sorry, Brock. Hashtag Windy, hashtag City, hashtag Morphs, guys. Let's go. First 5. Dragon Soul said hashtag Jeremy butt plug pastel.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Oh, they're coming in.
Yep, coming in fast. Here we go. Windy City Morph. So Sacred, Will Teleheat, Brock, Morph Master J, and Greg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got our 5 guys. Yo, Sacred is super fast with it. Let's go. Oh man, I'm gonna try to do better for you guys on this lag. I feel bad. I apologize.
Number 2 again.
Number 2 again. Let's go. Will's hella heat. Congrats, big dog. You already know. Give me a shout on Instagram, and I got you. That's what's going on. So shout out to Will, man. Congrats, big dog. And now we'll do Jeannie and Jeremy for $100 store credit for an animal, $200 or over, or 30% off any purchase.
Yep. And my hashtag is going to be, the first one is going to be, you don't know. The second one. No.
Come on.
The second one is going to be, the first one is you don't know. The second one is what you don't know. And the third one is going to be unless you know. Boom. Done.
That's not even how it goes.
No, that's not how it goes. I'll do the hashtag.
No, fuck that.
All right, Jeannie. Yo. Hold on. No,
you don't know. Hashtag you don't know.
No.
Hashtag.
No.
I got this.
Jeannie, you got this.
All right, I got this. All right. First hashtag is hashtag BER, hashtag snakes.
That's stupid.
Hashtag geckos.
Oh man, that's dumb.
BER, snakes, and geckos. Let's go, guys. Don't listen to Jeremy. I'm sorry.
No, fucking Greg got it, man.
A lot of people did.
A lot of people got it.
Oh man. There we go. First one, Morph Valley. BER, snakes, and geckos. Let's go. All right, I think we're good. First one is Morph Valley. Here it is. Jeremy don't know anything. Dragon Soul. All right. Morph Valley 1, Morph Master J 2, Mitzi and 3, Sia Serpents 4, and Big D's Pythons is 5. And Windy City just missed it. Sorry, big dog.
Number 1.
Number 1. Let's go. Morph Valley Reptiles. Ryan. That's what's up. Congrats, big dog.
Hey, message me on Instagram or something so I remember that you won that.
Yep, Morph Valley Reptiles. Make sure you shoot them a DM on Instagram. And congrats, yo. That's awesome, man.
Congrats, everyone.
I was gonna say if Patrick was in there, that was void. So it was void. I'll get them some lipstick or something, maybe. I don't know.
A little red dragon soul shade.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
All right,
get
guys. So listen, yo, I freaking love the both of you. You're super awesome. I really appreciate you guys coming on here with me and shooting the shit. It's been great. So
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks for having us, man. It's been fun. It's been
Yeah,
great.
we had a great time.
yeah, absolutely. And Jeannie, you did great at the beginning. You didn't even need Jeremy. We have to bring you back just a Genie episode.
Oh gosh.
I'm just a little upset about the whole hashtag thing, but
Aw,
whatever.
it's
Oh, Jeremy, man.
He'll get over it. Give him
You know
5
what?
minutes.
Maybe next show I'll do those hashtags for you, bro.
Oh my gosh.
right.
Appreciate that, guys. Listen, again, thanks everybody who came and checked us out. If you are new here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss a live. And if you're checking out the replay, leave a comment because that matters.
Yeah, hit the likes up too before you guys leave. Get them.
Yeah, I
likes.
don't even know where they're at right now, but hopefully they're somewhere up there.
Jeremy needs tissue.
And if you want to check us out, we're going to be on Keys Constrictor's YouTube channel at 8:15. We do Hair Down Friday, where a bunch of breeders get together and we show off animals. We typically have new people on every week. You get to kick it with T Keys, Keisha, and the usual suspects. And it's a great time. So make sure that you are there for that on Keys Constrictor's YouTube channel. And we will see you guys next time. Hold on, wait. I should probably do a video for the outro, right? There we go.